there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today, we're talking love and marriage. Huntsville, y'all know what y'all hear. Anything I say is alleged in my very, 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 very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. And of course, again, it's never, ever, ever, ever personal, you guys. So again, a couple housekeeping items. It is free to follow me, you guys. If you've not already, please subscribe to this channel, Anonymous Tea. If you've not already, subscribe to Anonymous Tea Podcast. I can't talk today. I've got some stuff coming this week there. Also, subscribe to my TikTok, Anonymous Tea Podcast, as well as my Instagram, Anonymous Tea. See, I'm blowing up already. They're blowing your girl up. But nonetheless, please do not forget to follow me on all of these platforms to stay tuned with what is the latest updates on things. So, where do we begin? Marquez has come out of the bushes and is alleging his account was hacked. So I don't know if you've been seeing on Instagram, his Instagram, really leading up to the previous episode, he was posting, or an account was posting, Marquez and some AI generated thing of what a couple ship name of him and Mel ahead of, the upcoming episode, saying how it got like almost 100,000 views of just a preview clip, and then there was some Bitcoin stuff of like all this money that he won via Bitcoin, and that there was going to be some merch coming out and all this other stuff. And so he came back and said that he was hacked, and then like used like a different font, and then used like the woot woot, I guess to dignify, what that, I guess is supposed to differentiate or something. But I don't know if I believe that he was not hacked. I don't know. It kind of sounds convenient because people were probably dragging him because of how his behavior was, of how thirsty he was for Melody Cherie Rogers, and people probably thought it was corny and a little bit frightening that you're just offering to quickly rub somebody's feet that you just barely met, a second time. So, I don't know. I don't know if I believe he was hacked. Also, we have once again, Destiny and these Mental Mondays where, they're supposed to be talking about real things, but everything always relates back to Mel somehow. So, they're basically trying to throw in little digs about the mentorship conversation and what it really is a mentor and all this. Basically trying to throw shade at Mel and her fallout with Nell and that whole thing. My thing with that is, it seems like Nell hangs on to statuses and hangs on to titles and essentially feels disrespected that Mel no longer sees her as a certain title, and that's really the source of her hurt. But I still feel like she's projecting and just trying to use this as an escape route to avoid discussing the fact that it was exposed that her husband Chris is setting up, other women with Martell while y'all were supposed to be quote unquote mentoring Mel. And then the other thing that was weird as well is that, Destiny, she just has this mindset that because of the visuals of Stormy, making all this money, because they were talking about different ages and things like that, that if you do, it doesn't always have to be somebody who is older than you, because the life coach was talking about how she gets tips from her child. And I was like, okay. And that her child can basically be considered a mentor. And I was like, okay. And then Destiny was like, yeah, I definitely learn a lot from, Stormy and stuff as well. She's made so much money and all this and that. And see, this is the problem, you guys. And this is the problem, too, when people idolize celebrities. Yes, you can look at their gross. You can look at what Forbes says their net worth is, that they're worth hundreds and billions of dollars. But you don't know how much of that stuff is liquid. You don't know how much of that is in properties. You don't know how much after it's deducted from their manager, their PR team, their attorneys, their, assistants, and whoever else is on the payroll, stylists, makeup artists, all of the things. You don't know after all that stuff is deducted, what the net is. And Taraji and Left Eye from TLC did a great job of breaking that down. Taraji, from, you know, a movie perspective, basically saying, hey, yeah, they may have said in the publication I was paid $10 million for this movie, but really after taxes it was more like $4 million. Once you know, my agent gets paid, once X, Y, and Z gets paid, it's really down to $4 million, and then you have to slash that. Well, actually, no, it's actually less than that, because you have to slash 50% because of taxes, and then you have to deduct even further, you know, the agent, the lawyer, the like all these other people, and then you get what's left of that. So it's really not 10 million, but that's what people see that do not have the financial literacy and understand how money works and what all gets taken out and who all has to get paid when you are dealing with some of these big time, you know, names and celebrities and things. But in regards to Stormy, I just feel like, you know, I don't know why she wants to floss so bad. Like, even now, she's posting about her being first class with her husband. It sounds like they're on a getaway somewhere, which is great, good for you, but you don't have to prove anything. And that's why she's always getting dragged. So my thing with Destiny is, you're talking about you can learn from Stormy, but why is Stormy selling your products on her platform? Like, it's a self-drag for me, because it's like you get close to these people and either you try to emulate them or they take something from you and you're still stuck at ground zero. Like, I don't understand. So now all of a sudden, you know, it's Stormy that's selling those candles. It's Stormy that's selling, you know, car fresheners and air diffusers and room sprays and everything else. So what about you and your one Big D Energy and your one candle that sold out? Meanwhile, Stormy decided, hey, I'm going to parlay this and I'm going to make candle scents for my popular body glaze scents, and I'm going to parlay that into car scents and car diffusers, you know, and make it off of my popular scents off body glaze. And here's the thing too. Quantity doesn't mean quality either, you guys. Just because Stormy, you know, tried to usher out all those new products for that Black Friday live doesn't mean all of it was up to standard, was up to code. As we saw, you know, she's showing, you know, this beautiful white fluffy body butter on the gram, or not on the gram, on the TikTok live, and the people are getting some brown, you know, chocolate milk in the milk. Like, it's not the same, you know. But again, when you put out those articles, oh, you made $1 million in a couple of hours, you made $2 million in a couple of hours, but then Stormy has to come out and cancel the Christmas live and cancel a Black Friday, cancel, you know, all. She's still recovering from Black Friday. She wanted to do a Christmas live, but she had to come out and say she couldn't do it. And she said at that point, I think she said it was between like 16 to 20,000 orders that she still was behind on getting out to people. And so nonetheless, I did a previous video in which, you know, I said her stuff was still on flash sale, and it is currently. I think you still have a couple of days left or something, so everything's for sale, because she was supposed to have another TikTok live this month that apparently allegedly got canceled. But Stormy didn't even have the balls to tell her people that it got canceled or it got postponed or whatever. And my opinion, I think the reason why is, one, she's embarrassed. And two, I think, you know, TikTok's like, listen, looky here, like, we've got to get some stuff in order. And I think Stormy tried to put out that video trying to make it seem like people were sending back fake stuff and counterfeit body glaze. I think that also was not a good look for her, because it didn't make any sense at all. It made zero sense, because I explained the process with how TikTok works if there's an issue with your order, if you need to return something. And, you know, none of that made sense that was in her video, because why are we talking about purses and other things that you can't even purchase on your store? It was very random. It was all over the place. It was trying to avoid trying to pay back these people. And I'm wondering if TikTok put the hammer down and said, listen, we're getting too many complaints that people are still not receiving their orders, or people are maybe fighting back if you're being a stickler on, you know, some of those orders that you have to escalate back to the seller. And maybe Stormy doesn't want to give some of these people back their refunds. And maybe TikTok's like, listen, we're going to put a pause on this next live until all this gets sorted out, until all 20,000 people, you know, get these orders back, or whatever the situation's going to be. Either they're going to get refunded or they're going to get sent these orders, but we need better organization here. That's what I truly believe happened, you guys. I truly believe, you know, she still, and this is why you needed Kyle. This is why you hired Kyle. But what I don't understand, I thought you hired Tiffany's husband to also help with some logistic stuff. Like what is he doing? What was his role exactly? Was it marketing? Like, what was the strategy? Or maybe she is, you know, tapped out from whatever the settlement was that she had to pay out Kyle. I don't know. Something, though, there is just not right. It's just not right in my spirit of, you know, whatever is going on. You know, because it just seems like now we're just flashing. Now, you previously said you never do any flash sales. You never put your stuff on sale. Everything always has to be regular price. But now all of a sudden, anytime you open up TikTok now, it seems like her stuff is always for sale. So you're trying to coop up money for something. You're trying to, you know, on the sneak, do some additional orders, recoup some additional money to rob Peter to pay Paul. Something's going on. Something definitely is going on, and it's weird. And then we still don't know whether or not TikTok is going to be shut down for good. So then what is Stormy going to do? Is she going to go back to her website where you can't return anything? like this is crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. The final thing I want to talk about as it pertains to Love and Marriage Huntsville as well is, you know, the choo-choo train, I guess the conclusion of her video. And it's kind of a couple of things I want to talk about, a couple of things that she said in a couple of videos that I didn't get an opportunity to talk to. There's this weird age gap thing that the choo-choo train has going on where she feels entitled to, you know, think that if you're of a certain age, if you're an elder, that you should have all this money, that you should have all this free time to watch the kids and all this and that. Listen, here's the thing, not to defend Martell's mom, but when you reach a certain age, your kids who are supposed to be able to raise their own children and get married and have their own kids, you're not supposed to be stepping in as the de facto parent or the substitute parent. You're supposed to step in as the grandparent. And I think some people have it twisted where they think, oh, because I was here all the time or I grew up with you, that means my kids can grow up with you as well. No. And then furthermore, because Martell, you know, who was supposed to be a multimillionaire, obviously that was a lie, you know, his mom has to now go back to work and work a regular job because obviously, you know, their pay isn't paying what people want to make it seem at Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't care how much you post on the gram and make it seem like all is kosher. No, obviously, some of y'all still got regular jobs. Some of y'all still got to do DoorDash on the side. Some of y'all still got to do X, Y, and Z on the side to make ends meet, to make your bills get paid. But you want to present all these narratives on social media, and then you get mad when it gets called out. So I don't understand her perception of age because by that logic, you've hustled backwards because your older man is broker than a joke and you're still trying to hang in there 12 years strong. And there's nothing to show for it in any capacity. And the other piece I wanted to talk about as well that she is now saying is she apparently allegedly had draining conversations that were exhausting for her about child support and all these things with Martell. That's because Martell has zero intentions of paying it. And that's why it's an even bigger flex for Mel that she didn't even ask Mark. She knew that man was broke and she knew it was going to be a situation where he was just going to keep her tied up in court with stupid motions and things. So why even bother? The other thing as well, she confirmed that LMH is his only source of income, which is the case of most of the cast. Also, Martell, again, reciting the same talking points, that it was Mel that did all the work. He was the one that was making sure the kids were taken care of. Well, is that so? How is it you had all this time for extracurriculars for you to cheat out with all these women? Is what I want to know. Obviously, at some point in time, that was taking place. You weren't always on the job with the kids. Then also, I guess the choo-choo train is jealous that Mel's got a team of people and nobody has help for Martell. And again, Martell is a grown man. You're raised to be a provider. You're raised to be the man of the house. Why does Martell need a village? He's supposed to be, on his grind, making things happen. This is the problem. He allowed Mel basically to do so much to make him look good that he never stepped up to the plate to make things happen for himself. And as a result of that, this 12-year side chick thought that Martell, because he's a big talker, she thought that he had the power and that he had the, wherewithal to make all these things, make all these things work, whether it was her getting on the show, whether it was them getting a certain level of financial success or a certain level of success with whatever. And it's crickets. Because Martell was full of it. He's going to tell a younger woman whatever she wants to hear because he knows she don't know any better. And by the time she realizes she's in too deep to really leave. And in this situation, you decided you wanted, this last baby after the other unalive attempt. So this is what happens. You really wanted to make it seem like you beat Mel at something, and Mel was trying to tell you Martell isn't what you think he is. But if you want him so bad, here he goes. And that's why it's so funny to me how badly people try to, elevate Martell and this choo-choo train. And I'm like, are we looking at the same thing? Because Martell considers her his child. He considers her somebody else that he can assign things to do. Whether it was trying to create the fake account for the Revenge P, whether it was, him wanting her basically to do wifely duties for his 4 kids that he has with Mel. All of these things so that he doesn't have to, commit to her for real. And then he can, use that time to do his own thing as well while he still tries to look for his next Melody Cherie Rogers. But my thing is this, you're always mad at Martell, you're always airing him out to the bloggers, you're always doing this and that, only to end up right back with him, only to end up doing that disastrous of an interview with the plain girl, and all the things, and that disastrous of a live at the gala where y'all couldn't handle the smoke, and y'all couldn't handle the hate, and then you did the most, you still went on that little holiday trip or whatever it was, whether it was a day trip or whatever, but you made sure that your daughter captured the son, looking like he was balling up his fist at Sugar Mama. You know exactly what you're doing. You think that Martell losing custody of the 4 kids that he sees as, the opportunity to take him out of the struggle is going to work well for you, and he's going to end up taking more out on you if you are actively sabotaging him in the case. But that's what Mel tried to tell Martell. None of these people like you. None of these people saw it for you, but you thought you had all the answers and now you're stuck. So there's that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.